So after all that last night, I went ahead and shared the rod knock video with my patrons, and they noticed something interesting, which I had kind of noticed throughout the day, but I don't really know what it sounds like. So they noticed that the pitch sounded just a little bit too high, both in pitch and in the engine, to be rod knock. Usually rod knock's a little bit deeper, it's a little bit thunkier, and that sounded a little bit more tingy. So I talked to a couple of my LS friends, and they think that it's a lifter. Supposedly that is a somewhat common issue to go bad on LSs, especially boosted ones with factory lifters. The lifters can get seized, they can spin, they can do all sorts of bad stuff. When that happens, the engine runs totally fine, but sounds gnarly. And that seems to be exactly what's happening now. So if it's a lifter, that's good because we don't have to pull the motor and rebuild it. But if it's a lifter, we have to pull the heads, get a new cam. Something that I wanted to do anyway, but wasn't exactly wanting to do it right now. I was excited to put some more bolt-ons on the car, take it back to the track and do 10s. But I guess we're gonna put even heavier bolt-ons on the car and then go back to the track and do 10s. I'm going to completely disassemble this thing. Not looking forward to it whatsoever. Gotta take the turbo kit off. Gotta take the intake manifold off. Gotta take the heads off. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm about to freaking ruin my LS. I guess it's already ruined, so it can't be much worse, right? So I guess without any further ado, let's cue a montage. The motor is now totally bare. No turbo kit, no radiator, no intercooler, just our little broken LS. Got a whole bunch of parts over here. Got a whole bunch of parts in the back of the car. It went smoothly. There was no issues, but it's depressing. Having to take apart your car when you don't expect you're gonna have to just sucks. I'm sure we've all experienced that before. It's somewhat exciting because I know it's gonna make more power when we're done with everything. But man, I had so fun at the drag strip, I just wanted to do it again. Anyway, I'm gonna start working on pulling off the heads. I'm starting to get worried about this brake booster. mean, after looking at freaking Miata cylinders and Subaru cylinders, these things are freaking massive. Cool thing is that they look good. All of the cylinder walls, oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Running at lean, at least, did not cause any damage to the cylinders, so that's cool. I'm gonna get the other head off, and then we can take a look at these valves. This one. More or less looks fine from this side as well. All right, let's look at the other side. The cam surface looks good on every single area. So, checking to see if the push rods are straight. Roll it down the hill and see if it's got any wobble to it. The push rods and the rockers are fine. The valves are fine. The next stop is to pull the motor, then take the oil pan off and check all the rod bearings. That is how we will really know what's going on. But it's seeming like at this point, it is indeed a spun bearing for the rods. Man, this is just so unfortunate. It's so weird that it didn't happen at the drag strip, didn't crack a piston from not having gapped rings. It spun a bearing 3 days after drag racing. Random side note, but look at this. Patreon sent me a Patreon Yeti. That's because your boy is a Patreon ambassador. Whatever the heck that means. Well, day 2. I specifically bought the engine stand that would come with a handle because of the ground we're on. And of course, the one thing that was missing from my box was the handle. We're just gonna make do with what we got. Let's go ahead and pull the sucker out. Storm, you can't stop me. The trans is out. That actually was really easy. I can't actually remove the trans until I lift the car up more. Oh my god! Holy shit, this thing's heavy. Oh my, I can't. Oh, wow. It's gonna be way harder at getting it back in than it was getting it out. You know, this canopy, I'm glad I had the canopy, but it really doesn't keep you that dry. I already have a blown up LS, like, come on. Come on. Why me? Look, we got a small river over here. It's ridiculous. Well, I kind of accidentally dropped the motor down into the hole. Because I'm trying to take it out without having to remove the subframe, because I don't have the bolts to do that. And, it's, yeah. But, now I don't know what I'm gonna do. all the rod bearings, totally fine. All of the surfaces on the crank, totally fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the main caps and see what those look like. I pulled the main caps off last night and they were all also perfectly fine. None of them were spun. One of them had a little bit of damage, but that's just from there being stuff in the oil. So we still do not know where the stuff in the oil has come from. There's really not much left in the motor. I'm gonna pull the front timing cover off and hopefully there's something in there. Might be the oil pump, maybe one of the bolts backed out or something. Because as of now, we still have no idea why it was knocking, why there's metal and everything. There you go, hey! Hey!
Here we go. Oh no, those. I imagine you're gonna have to pry it to pop it. Okay.
Oh, there's definitely metal everywhere.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. It is just a backed out bolt. This just came loose. My friend called it. Look at that.
Yep.
The timing thing just totally is loose. Man, that sucks. I could have replaced that with the motor in the car.
In the car.
And I now have to rebuild my LS.
So what you're saying, Jim, if I could put it into words is, you didn't have to do any of this.
I done messed up.
So that came loose and it was just popping.
Yep. There's their knock.
Hey, at least it wasn't the last thing you took off.
It always is, though.
It always is.
The last thing.
Oh, it actually broke this bolt.
I was gonna say it sheared it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are gonna have to do some rebuilding.
Yeah. So I would have needed a new cam, really.
Yep.
But now I need a new fucking motor.
So I guess the lesson here, folks, is to put blue Loctite, red Loctite.
But I never touched it. Why?
No, oh yeah,
Why
that's
me.
wait. So this motor, yeah, you never.
It's an OEM motor. That's a factory build.
Oh wow.
So it's just the extra vibrations and stuff
from all the
loose.
Well,
maybe that harmonic balancer, not because that was vibrating before.
Yeah, it honestly probably was partly that.
And then you replaced it and the vibration went, but that was already backed out.
The damage was done, yeah.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to those guys you saw in the background of the past couple of clips. They've got a YouTube channel, JMR Rebuilders. They do a bunch of awesome stuff with trucks, rebuilding new trucks, modifying old trucks. But they were a huge help at getting down to this issue. It sucks that this happened. It sucks that I pulled the motor out and pulled it all apart just to find out that it was just the timing chain that could have been fixed with the motor all in. The good thing is that pretty much either way, I would have had to disassemble the top end, so I would have had to replace the camshaft. The other good thing is that there is some slight damage on some of the main bearings from the metal that got into the oil. So like, realistically, it probably would have had a failure in the future at some point. Imagine if that timing gear would have actually come all the way off, whether if it was just cruising around or at the drag strip. Timing would have been thrown off, camshaft destroyed, all the valves destroyed, pistons destroyed, the motor would be totally toast. At least now, pistons are totally fine, rods are totally fine, block's fine, crankshaft's fine. Normally, guys, I get very upset and I just kind of overthink things. I don't know. For instance, when I blew up the Civic, I put all the blame on myself and I was miserable for a few weeks. But recently I've started to try to live by the motto of, you know, things happen for a reason. Whether they actually happen for a reason or not, it makes you feel better thinking that they happen for a reason. Yeah, it sucks the LS is now needing a rebuild, but hey, at least we're gonna be able to rebuild it to make more power. And I got to learn how to take an LS apart, and there are some positive things coming out from this. But, I'll see you guys in the next one, where we are hopefully getting new parts for the LS and starting to rebuild it. Peace out. Didn't blow up, so that's cool.
What?
Said it didn't blow up, so that's cool.